Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how to get writing motivation. It's easy to hit a wall with your writing. It's easy to get writer's block. I've written or ghostwritten 40 books, and I have so many lessons and tips I want to share with you about breaking through writer's block. By the end of this video, you will learn the importance of writing regularly, even daily, and the many forms of writing that will help you get words onto the page. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found this video. You know, motivation is such a valuable thing in writing. We've all been there in terms of writing when we're not motivated. You know, what does that feel like? It feels like a struggle. It feels like a slog. It feels like homework. I didn't like the feeling of doing homework at school because it felt like a chore. It felt like something that was just passed on to me, and it was an assignment. Even the things I did enjoy writing, it was always, I need to read this book and now write a report about it. There's a difference when you're excited about something, when you're motivated about it. And I think ultimately, some of motivation is digging deep within yourself. Some of it is tricking yourself. There's so many different layers to motivation. And it's so important to figure out what's going to make you motivated to keep writing. I think of my own career. I was a journalist in New York City, and I worked overnights for 4 years, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., often 8 or 9 a.m. I was writing sometimes 6 and 7 articles a night for the websites I worked on, so I would say 1 article an hour. There were days when I did not want to be there. There were days when I was tired. There were days when I didn't want to write anything. And then something happened and I had to jump on it and write about it. At the same time, that role forced me to feel comfortable and confident to write, even when I didn't want to write. To kind of just get in that mindset of, I got to write right now. Like, this matters right now. You know, and I think it really helped me break through writer's block. A lot of times people feel this sense of writer's block. Yeah, I'm not motivated to write. You know, I'm just not feeling it right now. What happens when you have to write anyway? That's how I've broken through writer's block. That's how I keep going with projects. That's not to say that I don't take a day off sometimes. I do. You know, there's times where I'm like, I don't feel like writing right now. I'm going to go for a walk. Do something productive. Do something to challenge yourself. Do something to inspire yourself. There's so many different ways to unlock writing power within yourself, to get motivated to write, to get dedicated and passionate about what you're writing. Another tool that I use is I will write and work on a project right before I go to bed. And I'll leave it there, unfinished. Sometimes I'll even stop writing in the middle of a sentence. I'll walk away, I'll go to bed. I'll wake up in the morning, refreshed, excited, and in the mindset of wanting to work on this thing. Your brain is doing things when you're sleeping. Your brain is still operating. Your brain is filing different things in different places. You know, it is a really, really cool object, your brain, and you want to take advantage of that. You want to use your brain to help get you excited to want to write, even when you don't want to write. And sometimes that means leaving something in the middle of it, walking away and coming back to it later when your brain has time to digest it and think it through. The other thing about motivation is rewarding yourself. In the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about the paperclip principle, where he would when he made his sales call, I think it was sales calls, he would take a paper clip from one cup and put it into another cup. And it was this reinforcement of doing something. You know, you're making progress, you're building momentum. Find a way to reward yourself. Find a way to note the wins. Even if it's just, I wrote today for 200 words. I did something. It's good to note those things. It's good to take note of those things and take stock in those things. Everything that you write, even if it's one word, everything that you write is going to get you closer to your goal. Think about your own patterns. How do you accomplish things? How do you get things done? How do you stay motivated enough? How do you feel about the things that motivate and inspire you? Those things that you can't get out of your head, that you're constantly thinking about. That's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about your writing the same way you think about the things that motivate you, that excite you, that compel you. You know, the things that just draw you in. Whatever you feel about the best thing in your life, I want you to feel that way about writing. Maybe not all the time, but at least sometimes. I want you to get excited. You get excited by really digging deep within yourself. Why do you feel excited? because you're engaged, because you're exploring something new, you're telling a story, you're getting words down, you're accomplishing something, you're digging deep within yourself. All these things matter. It's also a reflection of the fact that you're working beyond the obstacles, the things that are getting in your way. They aren't getting in your way now because you're pushing past them. You're not worried about technology, you're not worried about time, you're worried about making the most of this thing. It usually means tapping into your purpose. What is your why for writing this book? If you can really figure out what you want to accomplish from the book, it's going to be easier for you to stay motivated to keep going because you see this thing at the end of the tunnel. This isn't just darkness, there's that little glimmer of light at the end, You want to keep going toward that light again and again and again. I want to keep going because blank, because there's so many rewards on the opposite side of writing my book, because I want to be a thought leader, because I want to establish myself as a rock star CEO, because I want to better engage with my speaking audience, because I want to do something, prove something to myself, because I want to dig deep, because I want to try something that's never been done before, because I want to unlock new potential within myself. Whatever it is, whatever this purpose is deep down, I want you to really be guided by that. This is your North Star. That North Star is going to keep you going, even when you want to give up, because you can say, I don't want to write today, but I want to accomplish the goal. I want to do this thing because of this other thing, because I want to attract new clients to my company, because I want people to want to work with me, because I want to be a thought leader, because I want to challenge myself. Whatever it is, figure out your North Star, figure out your purpose. Another thing to consider is the many forms of writing. There's so many ways to get words onto the page. Oftentimes we just think about typing at the keyboard, but that's not for everybody. And that might not be your best way of getting words down. I actually often will use voice-to-text transcription. I will record myself, talking through something, and then use those words as a basis for the foundation for a chapter. Whatever your best way of getting words down, do that. If it's typing in your email, if it's sitting at the keyboard, if it's voice-to-text transcription, whatever the case may be, think about your best way, your best path, the thing that excites you. If you use voice-to-text transcription, you can actually get words done when you're taking a walk, when you're driving. You can get words down at any point. It's a really efficient way of making great progress. It's another way of taking out the obstacles, of making this thing as easy as possible, as simple as possible, because the book writing part is hard, but if you can make the underlying work easier, it's going to make it more compelling for you to want to keep going and keep doing it because you're seeing progress. When I'm working on a book project and every week I'm writing 1,500 or 2,000 new words, that's the momentum to keep going, because then after a month we have 8,000 words, maybe 10,000 words. Next month is another 8 or 10,000 words. Next thing you know, it's 30, 40, 50,000 words for the full draft. And there it is. There's your book. It's just doing the same thing again and again and again and again. And if you keep showing up, good things are going to happen. We can get writing motivation from so many different places. I hope that you've been inspired by this video. I hope that this has motivated you in some way. Get it from any place you can. I love doing this. Go to the bookstore and look at the other books on that shelf and think about where your book would go. My last name's Good, so when I write a baseball book and Doris Kearns Goodwin's books is right there, I'm always like, man, this is an amazing place to be right there next to this book, next to so many other books. What is the book in your space that motivates you? You want to see your book on the bookshelf next to that other book, and you can do it. You need to believe in it. You need to believe in it. You need to keep going. But if you can see the space for your book, you can do the work to make sure that your book is unique and different and special and stands out. And you can do the work to keep going, to commit to it, to stay motivated. Your book can wind up in that bookshelf too. Your book can create so many opportunities for you, but only if you write it, only if you finish it, only if you pour your energy and effort and best self into it. This is really about taking all of your best and putting it into this book, full of pages and cardboard or whatever else is made of this book, or it's digital. It's about taking your best effort and putting it there. And you can do it. You can definitely do it if you stick with it, if you have good habits, if you do the planning work to really believe in this thing, and you give your very best. Good things are going to happen. If you want to learn more about how to get writing motivation, I'd love for you to check out a course that I created, a weekly writing course. It's my Good Book Accountability course, and it's available at the website goodbookmastery.com. I just really wanted to create a course to help authors like you, to provide this weekly touch point, to answer questions if anybody has questions, to provide this community element. It's so lonely sometimes writing books, but it doesn't have to be so lonely. And if you're interested in learning more, check out the website goodbookmastery.com. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.